I just bought this 2011 BMW 535i X-Drive for $1,000. Previous owner took it to a shop because they couldn't get it running, and the shop told them it needed a new engine. Previous owner, obviously, they declined the service. That's why I have it now. They posted it on Facebook for $5,000. I offered them $1,000 and they took it. Couldn't believe it, honestly. So now it is my problem. I'm going to get it running again, and then we'll figure out if the shop was being honest. The shop says it needs a new engine. Let's figure out if it needs a new engine. If it does need a new engine, we'll either fix it for really, really cheap, or we'll engine swap it. Step one, it's filthy. Previous owner had kids and was a smoker. It smells like smoke. Got just candy all over, packs of cigarettes, 5-hour energies everywhere. The center console doesn't close. It's a mess. So step one, before I diagnose it at all, I don't want to be crawling around in their filth. So we're gonna give it a little bit of a clean. Not a detail, a little bit of a clean. Let's do that now. While I'm cleaning the car, I'm of course looking for goodies. Hopefully the previous owner left anything really cool or something really cool behind. On that note, watch this. That almost killed me the first time. That's not good. All right, let's get cleaning. We got some change. This shit was all underneath the cup holder. All of it. All right, that was disgusting. My hands are filthy. I don't know if the camera caught that. My hands are gross. They're sticky. Like everything in that car, pop, candied, gummies, energy drinks, it's all on my hands now. So I'm gonna go wash them, and then we're gonna get to the fun part of figuring out why it doesn't run. It's, I'll show you in a little bit, but currently just cranks and cranks and cranks. Doesn't start, no pops, no bangs. So we're gonna start with air, fuel, spark, and oil. Gonna make sure it has oil, which I don't know how to do in a BMW. It doesn't have a dipstick. So usually I think you usually check the oil when it's running, which it doesn't. And I also want to check the oil before it runs. So air, fuel, spark, oil, to figure out why it doesn't run. And if it's not air, fuel, spark, then it might be compression. We'll check compression too. We'll check it all. Fuses. There's a long list of things to check. Let's start. Before we get started on any of the checks that I just mentioned, I figured I'd check the codes, see what we got. I know the battery was dead when I first bought this, so I imagine there's probably a lot of codes related to that. So we'll check them, see if there's anything interesting, clear them, and then continue from there. All right, we're plugged in, car's on. See what we got for codes. Looks like we only got one code actually. We got evap system leak. Evap system leak, so we'll just clear the codes and move on. Okay, so while I was checking the codes, I checked the fuel gauge. It says it has a quarter tank, so we're gonna assume it has fuel. We're gonna, as of now, assume that it has good fuel. So I'm gonna move on to checking spark. So I'm just going to tear into the engine a little bit, get down to the coil packs, see if we are getting some signal to those. If we have that, I'm gonna assume we have air as well. I can check the air box for blockages, but I doubt that's the issue. So we'll check spark. While I'm in there, I might check compression, unless we get some answers from the spark. So let's dig in. Alright, got the spark plugs out. The coil packs themselves look fine. Doesn't mean they're working or all of them are working. But what I do notice is that these spark plugs, are all pretty fucked up. In particular, cylinder number 4 here. It might be hard to tell on the camera. You can see a little glare. It's wet. Can't tell if it's oil. Oh, let me back up. Can't tell if it's oil or fuel. But I think what I'm gonna do before I continue is I have all the spark plugs off. I'm gonna just do a compression test, and that's gonna tell us if the motor's bad. Even if the motor's bad, I want to get it running to make sure it runs before I yank it out. So, compression test, let's do it.
All right, before I test compression, I want to turn off the fuel. I don't want a bunch of fuel spraying in the cylinders while I'm testing. So, I looked it up, and this 20 amp fuse here should disable our fuel. There we go. Got our 20 amp fuse. Come on. And you can see the fuse is good. So at least, one fuse checked out of 100. Let's go test compression. Alright, I got all my spark plugs out. You saw that already. I think I have the right thread on this compression tester. I do. Alright, let's get you set up to watch this. Because good enough. I gotta go push the button. Zero. Interesting. Zero compression on 1. Let's see if that's a fluke. Maybe I fucked it up. I mean, we're in there. All right, well, let's try 2. All right, testing cylinder number 2.
Anything on one or on two? All right, we got what do we got? 5, 10, 15, 20. So we got about 157 on two, which also means that we actually have 0 compression on one. We're gonna test them all. $1,000 BMW, 0 compression? There's no way. I'm hoping you guys can hear on camera how bad this motor. Oh my God. 185 on 3. We're going for 4. 4 is the one that I thought was gonna suck, with the fact that the spark plug was covered in oil. All right, cylinder 4. Drum roll. We got problems on cylinder 1 and problems on cylinder 4. We'll probably go back to 1. We'll retest it. Let's go 5 and 6, of course. Let's test them all first. All right, cylinder 5. That sounds like no compression to me too. Oh, fucking Christ. Wow. Boys, this engine, real fucked. I don't even need a test spark. I know why it doesn't run. It doesn't have any compression. This thing's trying to run on 1 cylinder. 2.5, 1.5. Let's see what 6 has. All right, cylinder 6. All right, what do we got? So we got 125 on 6. I'm gonna retest 1. We gotta test it. We gotta retest 1. Here we go, retesting cylinder 1. Just cause I'm in denial. There's no compression. All right. There we have it. Cylinder 1, 0 compression. 2, oh fuck, I forgot all the numbers. It's all right, you guys know, that's all that matters. Well, I really don't think there's any point on continuing any other tests, right? We have 0 compression on 1, 160 on 2, 185 on 3, 0 on 4, 75 on 5, and 0 on 6. I'll put them on the screen right here. I don't remember what they were because I got bad memory. There's no point in testing anything else. The motor's fucked. The next step is to pull it. We're gonna pull it, tear it apart, see what's actually wrong with the motor. I'm sure you guys can hear just from it cranking over for the compression test. It sounds awful. It's definitely not a happy motor. So I'll probably cut this episode here. Actually, you know what? We're gonna do a little shop car intro. I have more cars than just this BMW. This BMW, I just happen to find what I think is a good deal, $1,000. If I really wanted to, I could just throw another motor in it and enjoy my $5,000, 535. I've had this car before. I really enjoyed it. That's why I jumped at this opportunity. Let's get you set up. Let's get the camera on the gimbal. That's what this means, gimbal. Let's get the camera on the gimbal and introduce the other cars. I'll see you in a second. Here I have my 69 Chevelle. This started life as a Malibu, as you can see. We bought a 2010 Camaro. We LF swapped it. Well, sorry. We bought a 2010 Camaro SS. We took the LS3 and the 6L80 out of that and threw it in this bad boy. Typical, I know, nothing crazy. So, L99 out of an automatic 2010 Camaro. DOD delete, AFM delete. It's got a mild cam. What is it? It's like a Texas Speed Stage 2. Actually, yeah, it's a Stage 2 NA cam. We do plan on boosting it in the future, but I mean, the Stage 2 NA cam is very similar to the Stage 3 boosted, so we just went with that. As you can see, we took the 2010 Camaro seat and the 2010 Camaro center console out, and we fabricated our own mounts along with cutting out the floor to make the seats sit low enough for my head. I would hit the ceiling. We got a 1990 Nissan Skyline GTR. This is my favorite. I bought this thing basically completely stock. I mean, it had the stock airbox, it had the stock twin turbos. The only thing that was done to this thing was coilovers and an exhaust. So I've taken it a long way from there. We went to a big single turbo. Yeah, it is an eBay turbo, but it's been cruising. All right, I'm not going to take up too much more time just going over cars that will definitely be covered in future videos. I 100% will make, honestly, I think my next video is going to be on the Skyline. I have an alternator to put into it. The Chevelle will probably get less coverage on the channel. That is a father-son project. I don't want to bug my dad with, you know, the added filming that goes along with making a YouTube video for a car. So if you guys want to see anything in particular, leave a comment. If you want to follow along with the progress that these cars make, subscribe. The Skyline goes to the drag strip. I would really love to get into autocross with the Skyline. If I do that, probably need some suspension upgrades. Most of the time and money has been put into the engine or the ECU, that kind of stuff. On that note, I appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.